Hello family, how are you doing? Well, I have decided to share a little bit more like tips and nuggets. Like one of my big goals is to really keep some ancient lineages alive, and that's my purpose in life. In order for me to get into my lineage and to get to know my lineage, there is some experiences, and some of them are not beautiful, so maybe some of you resonate with them, and I really want to share that. I've been seeing so many things in social media, and people that is sharing or putting themselves into the teacher role or guiding practices when they haven't done the work themselves. And I'm saying this because I can see it, because I'm clairaudient and I can see what is behind it. Okay, so I really want to bring awareness, because there is so much information, not just in social media about the realms of tantra, but there is so much information in the media or with these governmental laws and the coronavirus and anything that is happening in the world. But I want to bring you a little bit of awareness of what is actually happening, that it took me the hard way to learn, and hard experiences, and until I claim myself in my purpose fully, I was able to deal with that. So it is a process. And for this process, there is the map that has helped me is like, this is a human consciousness or the human awareness, okay? Then when we open to spiritual realms, it's not everything light. So then we open, and there is like a whole galactic war between light and dark forces fighting in this realm, okay? And then one more layer, it will be the Christic consciousness. So many people that channels from here, from the human consciousness, they are channeling from the middle ground, which there is dark agendas, for example. Okay, there is dark agendas, and we need to open discernment. Okay, and then to access to the Christic consciousness, which is a consciousness that unites everything, and the earth and the human are divine, and that's what we are claiming here. The earth and the humans and us, we are divine, and we are claiming our divinity back to Mother Earth, okay? But in this process, there is dark agendas that doesn't want the earth to rise up, and for us to access to this Christic consciousness, we need to claim our sexuality as sacred. But, I'm gonna say but, sexuality is the most powerful energy in the planet, is the most powerful energy on earth, and it has been also distorted. If you don't claim your sovereign sexuality, you can be easily manipulated and controlled. And the dark forces want to manipulate and control, so they distort sexual energy as well, since the beginning of times. You know, when the beginning of Catholicism, we have like Mary Magdalene and Jesus, they were doing like tantra to get where they got, and they evolved the realms of tantra so much that even 2,000 years before, we are still talking about them, okay, to that point. But then the church, or the ego, created the church and misunderstood that message and put sexuality as a sin, okay? So we have these cultures where sexuality is a sin, okay? So that's distortion. And then we have like the North American culture in general, like I don't know, my trips to California, so it's really, really clear that they have claimed sexuality to all the way open, but that's also distorted, okay? That's distortion. And then there is the wisdom keeper and the ancient lineages, that they ground you with the earth, they ground you with the elements, so you can heal and rebirth yourself in the divine mother and the ancient mysteries of the womb. So once you dissolve the distortion of self-importance, then you can cultivate the sexual energy that will align you with the Christic consciousness. And I'm saying this because if you don't have a connection with the elements, if you don't have a connection with the earth, if you don't have a connection with the lineages, if you don't have a connection with your community, it doesn't matter the tantra that you do, because it's not grounded. okay? And if it's not grounded, you can be easily manipulated and you can be easily controlled. This is actually in those 3 layers, in a simplifying, that's what is happening. Human consciousness, a galactic war of light and dark forces, and then we have the Christic consciousness. So in order to get to the Christic consciousness, we go through the earth. We don't go doing like tantric workshops without being connected to the earth and the elements, because then we are not in harmony with the natural law, okay? And then that is reality, and you can go the other way, but you are gonna find many truths that maybe they are not what you expected. Once you start cultivating the sexual energy and running the sexual energy, moving it upward through your body, you are gonna open your third eye and you are gonna see through dimensions, okay? And this is actually when I had like through a rite of passage here in Mexico, I have a death experience. In this death experience, I left my body. I didn't even knew what Tantra was, so you don't really need to connect with that through Tantra or the Tantric path, because that's natural law. Sexuality is what we are, okay? So I'm not gonna sell sexuality to somebody because that's what you are. And yeah, it can be really appealing, no? Like, I'm gonna help you how to be multi-orgasmic and things like that, and it's like, I can do that, I'm sure. I will get well paid and many people coming to me, but that's not my approach. And it is not my approach because I am not trying to sell you your essence. Your essence is already yours. You are already sexual. You're already orgasmic. Okay, so I'm not gonna try to sell you what you are already and what is already yours. But the lineages can give you tools in order for you to access to your higher consciousness through a really healthy way, because the lineages knows what is happening in all times, spaces, and dimensions. Okay, so coming back to my experience, I have this death experience in a rite of passage. Maybe in another video I will talk how that happened. And I left my body for 12 hours in this dimension, and I became the entire universe expanding in itself in the center of the galaxy, you know, like everything disappeared. All my questions were answered, and I didn't really wanted to come back. Actually, I thought I was dead. And when I came back to my body many hours later, I decided to really bring this information to the world, but I didn't knew how to do it. I couldn't even put it into words. And this orgasmic experience stayed in my body for over 3 months, that birthed what is today a woken woman, okay? And this is 12 years ago, 10 years ago, like really long. It seems like another life to me, you know? And then, but what happened after this experience is that I start seeing demons and entities, and my culture could not accept this as a normality. So I went into ancient lineages to Latin America and many other places to really understand what was actually happening. I could see people, how their faces were like shape-shifting, and I could see things behind it. And one of them was my partner, because I was in a sociopath relationship, and I could see 6 eyes in his face, horns, a tail, and how he was soaking my energy in. And then I understood that he was like a energetical vampire, and I was nourishing him, and I was always getting depleted. Okay, it took me this experience to really understand what was going on, but never. I got rebirth in that rite of passage, you know. But after that, nothing came back to normal. Nothing came back to normal because the clairvoyant gifts were really open, and I could see many people how their faces were shape-shifting, and I got to understand that there was other beings entering human bodies as avatars and trying to control and manipulate sexuality, and many of those are in the realms of tantra, in the realms of sexual abuse, in the realms of pornography, because you are manipulated and controlled through your sexual energy. We really need to be aware of this, because you can be really, really, really wounded. We are in a narcissistic society. We need to accept that, where there is like the most important thing is the self-importance, and now all the layers are dissolving and are coming down, and people needs attention, and your attention feeds these things. And I'm gonna call it like dark agendas. And now we can see them in the media or with like conspiracy theories, and that's a reality. I'm not gonna deny it, but that reality didn't enter here with the coronavirus. That reality was already here, but we couldn't see it. But now we can see it. So we can see it in all the spiritual paths as well. Even in the Christic consciousness, we created a church and a religion of something that was completely sacred. Okay, and what I'm trying to say here is like, we need to open discernment, guys. We really need to open discernment in your relationships. If you are getting tired with your partner, if you sleep with him and you wake up, you are tired, there is something there. And there is a way to know, and it's how it makes you feel. Because your nervous system is connected to that, and it can open and relax, or it can contract. And he can convince you that you are wrong and that you need healing or that you are crazy. Like, this is a narcissistic pattern. And then maybe you believe that. And many people kill themselves for that, or they end up like having pills or going to doctors because they think there is something wrong with them. And the only thing wrong with them is for them thinking there is something wrong with them. And I really want to be really clear with this. All the dark agendas are being lifted, and many things are misunderstood, so I really want to bring this information out there in a healthy way that can help each one of us. But I recommend you to really, really connect with the earth, connect with the elements. If you can have an access to elder or a person that is connecting with the elements next to your community, please go that way. Go that way, and when you dissolve your self-importance, then you can go deeper and you can learn discernment of what is real and what is not real, okay? So this is what I wanted to share. If you really want me to share more about this, let me know, because I have tons of things to say, but this is just an introduction, because I've seen that many people has been texting me, and just take care of you guys, like really, really take care of you. And like, I'm not trying to freak people out. What I'm trying to do here is to bring awareness of something that is actually real, and then that we need to go and take serious our life purpose, and that we need to take serious which people we are learning from. That's all. So yeah, that's my advice. So yeah, I wasn't sure if I wanted to share this, because I was thinking I don't want to freak people out, but at the same time, people need to know this. And it is not all about fluffy stuff, positive thinking, unicorns, because that's bypassing, and that's not real either. So we need to go through the feeling. Wherever you are feeling, don't judge it, go within yourself, because that's where the answers are. And life is so smart that it's putting around you your partner, your mother, your father, and your neighbors, everyone that are your teachers right now. And this is the new era that we are in. This is not the era of the guru. This is the era of recognizing that our life is sacred, that our life is the altar, and every relationship that enters to your life has a proper message for you. So we need to start valuing more our relationships and ourselves. And this is a deep call of self-love and discernment. And then just choose your elders, and through them you can find your lineage. And it doesn't need to be my lineage, like I'm sharing my lineage with my people, and I don't want to project my lineage into anybody, because my transmission is unique. Your transmission is unique. That's what I'm saying. There is no one to follow. Like, you have an authentic transmission. You can follow a path or a teacher and someone that inspires you for some time, in order for you to awaken the master within. Okay, we don't want codependency here. Like, we really want to step into our own authentic power. And this is what sexuality is about. It's about what is yes for me and what is not for me. And it doesn't mean it's wrong or right. It means like your body and your nervous system is gonna say yes, yes, or no, no. So listen to that. You have that answer right here. So just follow that, because you have an authentic lineage, and that lineage wants to awaken within yourself. Okay? So this is a little introduction, and then if you want to know more, let me know, because I'm not really sure what I should be sharing here, but I've been really called to share this in this moment. So love you guys. Mwah.